Hello, welcome back to Table Talk Sports. My name is Bruiser. I'm here with High C, Big Play Nate, and Gunslinger. We are so happy to be here today. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching this with us. So why don't we go ahead and get into it. This is the News Files. This is one of our favorite sub-segments of our area and of our show. But what we're going to do is we're going to talk about one of the craziest stories we've ever seen. We have never seen this in all of the NFL, and that is Antonio Brown in New York. And no, it's not just impressive that Antonio Brown went to New York, back to the state that he was a part of the New York Giants. That's impressive in itself, but what Antonio Brown did in the middle of the game. In the middle of the game, Antonio Brown was told by Coach Bruce Arians that he wanted him to get back on the field. Well, Antonio Brown didn't want to get back on the field because Bruce Arians wasn't allowing him to get a certain amount of statistics that he wanted to. So Bruce Arians told Antonio Brown to get out, get out of the field, get out of the stadium. He doesn't want to see him again. Well, Antonio Brown then ripped off his jersey and pads, took his gloves and helmets off, and threw them into the stands. When he threw it into the stands, the crowd was confused, the refs were confused, everybody was confused. We later found out, just a couple minutes later, that he walked onto the field in the middle of a play. It was not a penalty because he did not interfere with the play itself. But after the game, Coach Bruce Arians stated Antonio Brown is no longer a part of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Antonio Brown will never be a part of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, is what Bruce Arians said. So why don't we go ahead and talk about this? Hi, C, what do you think about Antonio Brown going berserk over not getting catches?
It's simple, really. This is the last straw for Antonio Brown. I feel like this guy never learns his lesson, for crying out loud. Do I have to go through it? He started with the Giants, and he went on to the Raiders. Yeah, he went to the Raiders, released. Then he went to the Patriots, released. And now he's back on... Oh, wait, sorry. He was on the Steelers. Sorry, I got confused with Odell. Confused on that one. Sorry about that. Anyway, he's now on the Bucs. He wins the Super Bowl. Tom Brady believes in him. Everyone's like, oh, okay. Maybe this is the new Antonio Brown. He's going to go win a Super Bowl. Maybe another one. Maybe go have a chance to make sure he's in the Hall of Fame. This was the last straw, honestly. I don't know if I am a manager in the NFL of a team right now, I'm not going to go pick up Antonio Brown because he's a walking fine waiting to happen at this point.
Yeah, and I got confused too. I said OBJ on the Giants too. But it doesn't make any sense how he's still allowed to play when he's been arrested off of domestic violence, off of the trespassing, off of vandalism, off of all this stuff. He's still in the NFL. So, Big Play Nate, what did you take off of this?
Antonio Brown is the biggest baby in NFL history. He leaves the Steelers, his hometown where he had success with, the first team that drafted him, because they didn't pay him enough. But in reality, he's being paid, I think, very fairly. Then he goes to the Raiders last 2 days because his helmet doesn't fit. He then goes to the Patriots because Brady wants him, and Belichick cuts him after a week because he hates Antonio Brown's attitude. Then he goes to the Buccaneers with Brady. Everyone forgives him when he wins the Super Bowl with Brady. Now look, he couldn't play till week 3 because of many violations, and now look what happens. He chucks his jersey off because he's not getting enough catches. That is downright selfish. No team should want a player like that, which even astounds me even more, that Tom Brady is defending Antonio Brown. Tom Brady, why are you defending Antonio Brown? This guy has done nothing for you. You have already a ton of receivers that you can throw to. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Rob Gronkowski, and then some young guys, Tyler Johnson, Cameron Brate. You have enough weapons. You don't need Antonio Brown for anything. So why do you defend him? And why do you still want him? He is completely just downright an idiot and a selfish person. I do not want to see him play again. Gunslinger, what do you say on this?
Well, I really do think that something happened to Antonio Brown. In 2016, he was in a game against the Bucs Cincinnati Bengals in a wild card game, and he got hit very hard with a targeting call in his head against Vontaze Burfict. And Vontaze Burfict later got ejected from this game for the hit, and whenever Antonio Brown got hit, his body went limp. And he could not hold himself up, and he was just everywhere, and he got a major, major concussion. I truly believe that Antonio Brown did get CTE from this hit, and I think that he needs to physically stop playing football, because I think that before this, people, as Carlos Dunlap, he protested that he knew Antonio Brown very well, and that Antonio Brown was a very happy person. He smiled all the time. He had donated to his daughter because she had cancer to help her pay for her treatment, and Antonio Brown was a very good person. And then after this hit, he thought everybody was out to get him. He became narcissistic. He didn't smile anymore. He became a very, very angry person. And I think that he seriously has been hit too many times in the head, or mainly that one hit. And I think he does need to stop playing football, because I think he has a mental disorder.
CTE would make sense off of that large hit. Excuse me. Now the question is, can that one hit cause that amount of CTE? Obviously, we don't know. We can't know. Off the science that we have right now, we can't know until the person passes away, which is not great. But we hope Antonio Brown the best, but we do not condone his behavior. Now, another person that did not condone behavior like this, sadly did not see Antonio Brown's craziness, but does not condone behavior like this, is Hall of Fame coach and, in our eyes, Hall of Fame announcer John Madden. 2 weeks ago, John Madden had a documentary come out in his honor called All Madden. Fantastic documentary. The documentary is based off of watching him watch the documentary. You're watching John Madden react to what people are saying about him. Well, just a couple days after that documentary, it was announced that at 85 years old, Hall of Fame coach John Madden had passed away in his sleep in his home. So the NFL on week 17 announced that at the beginning of each game there would be a moment of silence towards John Madden. Why don't we go around the table, and I say we go ahead and say what we think about John Madden, what we think he meant to the league, and what our favorite moment of John Madden was, and I'll go last. So, Big Play Nate, what do you think?
John Madden was one of my favorite coaches in NFL history. He was a great guy. He led a Super Bowl-worthy team with the Raiders. He actually fit the Raiders mantra very well, in my opinion. He gained some respect. He even got his own video game franchise, the Madden video game that still come out today, and then became a broadcaster, and probably one of the most famous broadcasters in NFL history. I'm sad that I could not see him and Al Michaels at the exact same time. That would have been awesome. But I think my favorite moment of John Madden is just the fact that he was on the Raiders and led them to greatness. Like, just the things he did with the Raiders were incredible. He took Al Davis's team and made it a consistent winner. Gunslinger, next. What do you got?
Well, personally, one of my favorite moments for John Madden was just if you're over the age of 30 and watched football whenever you're younger, you probably remember this, but John Madden was a big pioneer in turducken for the NFL. In turducken, he was able to bring this thing that is called turducken, which is half turkey, half duck, half chicken, with dressing in the middle of it. And pretty much he once brought it up to his booth and he cut it with his hands. And he was able to cut what he needed to do to get this turducken all over the place. It was all over his hands, and he ate it right there in front of people, like just with his hands. And it was hilarious. But he was an incredible coach, and John Madden, we're all going to miss you. Incredible broadcaster, the only coach to ever complete his career without having a losing season. That's really all I have to say about this. We're going to miss John Madden.
What about you, High C? What do you think?
John Madden was definitely, a legend in his own right, and I am so sad to see him pass. But he really did a lot for the game of football. He helped it to become what it is now, and I'm just excited. He's made the game what it is today. So we will miss you, John Madden, for sure.
So I will go real quick, and then we have a little breaking news right after this. But John Madden, people say Tom Landry or Bill Parcells or all these other coaches are the best coaches in history. John Madden is, as Gunslinger said, the only coach ever to finish his career without a losing season. Mike Tomlin is the closest one ever to do it, and he's about to have a losing season this year is what it looks like. So John Madden did something that no other coach has ever done and possibly will ever do. And John Madden then, after retiring, after winning the Super Bowl, after being considered one of the best coaches in NFL history, decided to go to announcing. When he went to announcing, he then became the best in that category too. John Madden was just the best football analyst, best football announcer, best football coach in history, all combined at the same time. And it's incredible to look back at his life, look back at his history, and see what he accomplished and see what he did. I would have to say my favorite moment of John Madden is when he taught people. Because if you don't know about John Madden, he was a teacher. He actually got teaching degrees and went and taught people about football. Well, when he became an announcer, he did these special little things, and he would go teach the public how to watch football. And it was just funny. It was everything that you wanted from John Madden, and it was fantastic. So, like everybody said, John Madden is incredible. We're going to miss him. Our prayers go out to his family and everything. Now, as you can see below, we have a little breaking news alert right here. If we're just going to go back to our old topic real quick about Antonio Brown. And it is Antonio Brown reportedly told the Bucs coach he couldn't play because he was injured. And then Antonio Brown stated that Bruce Arians told him to get off the sideline and kicked him out of the entire stadium after saying that. So Antonio Brown says it was not his fault. Antonio Brown says that it was Coach Bruce Arians saying that he had to play during an injury. Now, no doctors have verified that Antonio Brown was injured. No, Bruce Arians has not commented on it at the moment. But we can go around real quick off what you think about this, and then we will go to our final subject, Gunslinger.
Well, as I said, I think Antonio Brown has just truly lost it. I think he has a mental disease, but he was upset because he wasn't going to get his $1 million. So it's just sad to see what happened to him.
I would not be surprised if Bruce Arians kicked him off for being injured because he doesn't want injured guys on the field. But that still does not excuse what Antonio Brown did. You don't walk out, rip your jersey off, and leave like that. You leave respectfully if you want to play football.
Agreed. On that one. I definitely. Oh boy, I agree with that one. Yeah, I agree. If you're going to throw your jersey and your gloves and your equipment into the stands, you don't deserve to be in the NFL. You deserve to be not even playing the game of football. It's a disrespect to the NFL in my mind.
The article states that midway through the game yesterday at this moment, Bruce Arians and the offense staff told Antonio Brown to go into the game. They believed that Antonio Brown was healthy, and he believed he was not. When Antonio Brown was confronted with going back into the game, he claims that he told Coach Bruce Arians that he was not healthy, and Bruce Arians did not believe him and told him to get out. Antonio Brown then went and did what we've talked about by throwing his jersey off and doing everything. I fully agree. Throwing the jersey off is not acceptable. It's not acceptable at all, nothing. There's no explanation for what he did. You can't defend yourself off of the team that is paying you throwing their jersey away. So what he did is unacceptable. If this is true, Antonio Brown said that he was injured and Coach Bruce Arians wouldn't let him sit down. if that is true, there's been no confirmation, but if that is true, Bruce Arians was as well in the wrong. What Antonio Brown did is wrong, but what Bruce Arians did is wrong if that is true as well. So as this story develops,
I agree with that statement.
As this story develops, we will obviously continue to bring it up. We will continue to say it because at this moment, Antonio Brown has now been fired from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And we want everybody to know what the truth about this story is, whether Antonio Brown has mental problems, if it's just his anger issues, or if Bruce Arians actually did not allow him to sit down and rest. We will obviously keep you updated on all of this, but we are going to move on to our final category in this segment, and that is trivia. NFL football trivia. So I'm going to go ahead and send it over to Big Play Nate. Why don't you finish us off with this?
All right, so we're going to start something new for at the end of every News Files episode we release, we're going to ask a trivia question to you, and then we will give you the answer at the start of our special segments section. So today's trivia question is, which is the only NFL city to have neither hosted a Super Bowl nor seen its team play in the Super Bowl? We'll send us your answers somehow, and we'll give you the answer in our next segment. And God bless y'all.